What's up, you guys? My name is Hutch. I'm a gaming sex icon, and I'm here with another OG YouTuber by the name of Drift0r. How are you doing, sir? It's the end of E3. Are you burnt?
I am totally burnt. I am just now entering my post-E3 recovery mode. Just got back to the hotel. Show floor just closed, and I'm packing up and ready to head on back home to Dallas.
And you've
Doing
been
good, though, overall.
Good, man. I'm glad you had a good time here. This was a good E3. I had a good time, too. So you are, like I said, an OG YouTuber. You've been making COD videos for probably like 8 years now, 7 years. And if people want to find your stuff, in case they don't know you, which is unlikely if they're on this channel, but where can they find your stuff online?
Just /Drift0r, youtube.com/Drift0r, twitter.com/Drift0r, Twitch/Drift0r, though I don't use it very much. Pretty much any service /Drift0r, that's going to be me.
You have a uniformity to your brand that I do not, and I'm jealous of that, so good for you.
I tried. I got my YouTube account in like 2005 or 6, so it was really easy.
Good. That's good. All right, so let's talk about World War II, man. So first and foremost, what did you think of the way that they revamped the class system? So in case you viewers have no idea what's going on, you don't get to pick perks anymore, if I'm understanding correctly. Maybe you can provide some more clarity on that.
I think the perks have been kind of moved to the division system, to where you pick and you deploy in a division that can be armored or airborne or sniper. I think they call the sniper mountaineer. But It's kind of a class system: SMG, LMG, AR, sniper, shotgun guys. And your perks are kind of rolled up under this division system. So the shotgunners, SMGs, and snipers all have different perks.
Right.
But from the playtest, if you noticed, each class had different division specializations, I think it was. So it's kind of like you pick a division, and each division has its own set of perks that you can then apply on your own. We had preset classes, though, so I'm guessing at this point. So it's not like 100% don't pick your perks, but I think it's sort of a restriction, so you can't match some perks with some guns. So like sniper guys get sniper perks, SMG guys get like rushing perks, and there's a couple in each division.
I thought that they were kind of needlessly confusing about that, to be honest, because when they said we're getting rid of creative class, it's not technically true. If anything, it's more like Infinite Warfare system with rigs, where each rig had specific perks that were unique to it. And
that was different. That was a trait, though. So because you would have traits on the rig, but then you would still have your giant perk pool that you can pull from.
Right.
This one, you would have you have a perk pool, but it's kind of subdivided amongst each division. And I wouldn't say it's a fair comparison to rigs, because rigs had specialist abilities or rig abilities. You turn into a dog or you summon a big gun. The abilities on the divisions were much more minor. It was like mount your bipod, one you can screw on a suppressor, or relative bayonet. Much simpler things.
I was surprised that they didn't have the equivalent of like supers in this game. Obviously, you don't need to make it like gravity spikes, but you could make it something like I thought the flamethrower was going to be a super, or the dragon's breath shotgun. I thought that was going to be a super, but no, they got rid of that completely. And yeah, so I mean, just to clear it up though, like you still can customize your character. It's just
correct.
They're trying to steer you.
Did you see how they had the gun with 4 attachments on it, and they had a ton of different gun attachments and like grenades that you can pick, and even modifications for those. So
well, we didn't get to see any of a lot of the attachments that were even offered. Did you click on the attachments thing and actually look at some?
I checked it all out. I mean, we can't upload video footage of those menus because all that's kind of subject to change.
Right.
But I saw advanced rifling, a couple different kind of optics. There was quick draw, extended mag. I think there was fast mag. There was high caliber. There are the suppressor, and some of the other ones are limited to a division. The bipod comes back, so you can mount your LMGs on different things. There was a lot of attachments. I'm not super concerned. Oh, an iron sight attachment for the sniper rifle too. I'm not really concerned about that.
Yeah.
But I do admit that it was odd the way they advertised it. I think the idea was like we're innovative. We're doing something new. We're changing up Call of Duty. But I think the message the community got is creative class is gone. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know?
So you bring up you're talking about these attachments on guns that probably for a lot of them were never even meant to be on those guns or never were used on those guns. So let me just segue into the conversation that I don't know about your YouTube comments or tweets, but mine are just dominated by people really pissed off that you can play as a woman in multiplayer and that they got rid of the swastikas. That's like, I don't know if they sent out talking points to all the trolls on the internet, but it seems like it's just been this it's been this just like onslaught. Like it is a lot of comments I'm seeing, and it's fucking so annoying, to be honest with you.
It's crazy. It is very annoying. I've done a couple of videos on it, as I'm sure you have as well. There were women that fought in combat in World War II, albeit mostly Russian and extremely rarely. It is a thing that, you know, was in the war. Very minor, mind you. I would say 99.9% of deployed troops never saw a woman on the battlefield that wasn't a civilian, so it wouldn't be a accurate representative experience of the war, but it certainly didn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
The removing the swastika, it almost certainly has to do with releasing in Europe, because the European Union has regulations on it. Germany has their own super strict ones. Some of the other countries do. I think Korea or like one of the Asian countries has it banned, and one Middle Eastern country. And the regional laws on the swastika is so complicated. Instead of making like 7 versions of the game, they can just make one and mostly remove. I think there's a few in campaign.
Yeah.
But none of this bothered me until I played the game, and I killed a black female German soldier, and it really kind of made me step back. That one felt a little bit too silly for me.
Well, see, now the devs came out, I think it was just yesterday or the day before, and they said, we did these things in multiplayer and zombies, but we left campaign not realistic because it's a video game, but more grounded in reality. So it's focused on male characters. You don't see any women soldiers, I believe, and there are swastikas in single player. So that logic makes sense to me, because in multiplayer there's no narrative, there's no obligation to be historically accurate, or there's no real incentive to do that. Because how does that add to the multiplayer experience? Does it make multiplayer better to take away representation from one community just because it's not historically accurate? In my opinion, no. I don't care, and I don't think too many people play Call of Duty multiplayer for the historical accuracy. That's just my take on it. I respect your opinion.
It's the same kind of thing you have with Battlefield 1. Like, how come World War I has a lot of fully automatic rifles in it when it was all bolt actions? You know, you can make the same argument. Even the majority of World War II was bolt actions until the Americans got there with their M1 Garands.
Yeah. Well, let me switch topics again, because I'm on a little bit of a time limit with this video here. But is this the most hyped you've been for a COD in recent memory, you think? When was the last time you were this hyped for a COD? We spoke a little bit before, and you mentioned
I was really hyped for Black Ops 3. I really enjoyed Black Ops 3 a lot, but the hype is back for this one. You can see it in the community. You can see it with the COD community being very positive for the most part. All the YouTubers I talked to, the streamers, the people there, even the people at the booth, the developers and stuff, are happy and smiling, and the reception's been very well, so the hype is real. And even more than COD's always had hype. Even, we'll say, Infinite Warfare is an easy one to pick on. It had hype, but this one has positivity. People seem to like what they see and like what they play. Did you like what you played?
I had a real good time with it, man. I really enjoyed the maps. The map wasn't too crazy, even though it was big, because it was progression-based, so they lock you off from accessing certain parts of the map. There's literally like a little kind of digital barbed wire fence to prevent you from, and if you cross it, you'll die. A little
red barbed wire that says this is the spooky zone.
Right, yeah. So even though the map that we played war on was pretty big, it didn't feel that big because it keeps you kind of cordoned off into these specific areas. And the other two maps that we played were small to medium, kind of standard three lanes, with a little bit of verticality, but not a lot. Like most of the action like took place on the ground. There was only like a couple perches where you could see, you had a bird's eye view of things. And that's the kind of COD that I really like. It pushes the action, and that's one of the reasons why I play Call of Duty, is just because it's so fast. And so like the trailer, I was a little concerned that it was going to be too chaotic, but once I got in there and played it, it felt like there was you could control. You had a certain degree of control in the chaos that maybe you didn't with some games like Infinite Warfare and even Black Ops 3, where there's a lot of elements of randomness to it. So,
like Black Ops 3, when somebody drops the grav spikes, well, there's pretty much nothing you can do about that. So
right, yeah.
This didn't have much of that. I mean, obviously, there's kill streaks, and there's like shotguns and powerful things that can one-hit you, because that's how Call of Duty works. Yeah. But it didn't feel out of control. It had its flow. Here's a question for you. Did you get any bad spawns? I didn't get one. Not a single bad spawn.
Not one, no. Yeah,
and
it was
good. I
find
that really rare, because when we play like alphas, you've probably played a lot of alphas at E3 and other events. they can be pretty rough. You know, unpolished,
Yeah.
rough spawns. I didn't have that experience here.
Yeah, and I think Advanced Warfare had some pretty bad spawn problems during the early stages too. So it's good to see them. It's good to see them step their game up in that regard. Well, Drifter, I got to cut this off because I got to get going here. But thanks for coming on and giving me your input. I'm really excited about this game, and it makes me happy to see that you're excited too because you've been the guy that I go to for COD facts for like the last 5 years. So keep doing you.
Except maybe this year, I took a break.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, this year was kind of an anomaly. So hopefully this next year is going to be different. But thanks again for coming on. Have safe travels,
Anytime.
and
Glad
I'll
to
talk
be
to you
here.
later.
You too.
Good.